Minister of Water Resources, River Development and Ganga Rejuvenation, Sushri Uma Bharti ji, Dr. Sanjeev Kumar Balyan, Honorable Minister of State for Water Resources, Shri Girish Bapat, Honorable Minister for Food, Civil Supplies and Consumer Protection, Food and Drug Administration, Parliamentary Affairs, Government of Maharashtra, Shri H.C. Agarwal, Chief Postmaster General, Maharashtra, Dr. Amarjit Singh, OSD, Water Resources, Dr. M.K. Sinha, Director of the CWPRS, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure to be here to join you for the centenary celebrations of the Central Water and Power Research Station. Water is an essential ingredient of all life on the planet. It is a major determinant of our physical and biological environment. It is also an important natural resource, providing the basis for domestic, agricultural, industrial, and other economic activities. Of all the water resources on earth, only 3% is fresh, and 2/3 of this fresh water is locked up in ice caps and glaciers. Of the remaining 1%, a fifth is remote, inaccessible areas and much seasonal rainfall in monsoonal deluges and floods that cannot be easily used. It has been estimated that at present only about 0.08% of all the world's water is exploited by mankind in ever-increasing demand for sanitation, drinking, manufacturing, leisure and agriculture. Due to the small percentage of water remaining, optimizing the fresh water we have left from natural resources has become a major challenge. Deficiency of water results in crop failure, and water in excess of the capacity of stream results in flood, causing widespread loss of life and property. India's proverbial poverty amongst plenty is, to a large extent, related to results from the hydrometeorological conditions, inequitable spatial distribution, non-utilization, and ill-planned utilization of water resources. In view of the vital importance of water for human and animal life, for maintaining ecological balance, and for economic and developmental activities of all kinds, and considering its increasing scarcity, the planning and management of water resources and its optimal, economical and equitable use has become a matter of utmost urgency. Friends, our country today is facing an acute water crisis. The major causes for this can be summarized as: 1. India's large population has led to a stress on available water resources. The total amount of usable water has been estimated to be between 700 and 1200 billion cubic meters. With a population of 1.2 billion, according to the 2011 census, India has only 1,000 cubic meters of water per person, even using the higher estimate. 2. Poor water quality resulting from insufficient and delayed investment in urban water treatment facilities. Water in most rivers in India is largely not fit for drinking. Industrial effluent standards are not enforced for a variety of reasons. The plight of Yamuna as it crosses Delhi starkly reflects this mismanagement. For only 2% of its river length that Delhi occupies, 75% of its pollutants are added there. According to Central Pollution Control Board, urban India's sewage generation for the year 2015 was estimated to be 62,000 MLD, while our sewage treatment capacity is only 23,277 MLD with 816 sewage treatment plants. Thirdly, is the problem of dwindling groundwater supplies due to over-extraction. We in India have been extracting more groundwater at an ever-increasing rate. It is estimated that we extracted 251 BCM of groundwater in 2010 compared to 90 BCM in 1980. One of the biggest concerns of our water-based resources in the future is the sustainability of the current and even future water resource allocations. As water becomes more scarce, the importance of how it is managed greatly grows vastly. Water stress has a bearing on various sectors of Indian economy, including agricultural, industrial, domestic and household power, environment, fisheries and transportation sectors. The interplay of various factors that govern access and utilization of water resources needs to be considered, and it becomes incumbent that we look for holistic and people-centered approaches for water management. For water as a resource, this is particularly difficult since sources of water can cross political boundaries and the use of water include many that are difficult to assign financial value and may also be difficult to manage in conventional terms. The 12th five-year plan for the period 2012-2017 had detailed attention on several of these issues. It has put great emphasis on aquifer mapping, watershed development, involvement of civil society and NGOs, and efficiency in developing irrigation capacity. Because water is a state subject under our constitution, state governments are expected to play a large role in these efforts. At the same time, many active NGOs are now able to enforce compliance with environmental obligations through the Right to Information Act, active and competitive media, and growing awareness on water issues. Ladies and gentlemen, for 100 years, the Central Water and Power Research Station, or CWPRS, has been providing the nation with valuable insights in the management of our water resources. The center has become the principal agency to cater to the research and development needs of projects in the field of water and energy resources development and waterborne transport. I am very happy to note that today this center is widely recognized as one of the foremost organizations in the world in the field of hydraulics and allied research. As the regional laboratory of the United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and Pacific, or ESCAP, since 1971, the CWPRS has also offered its services to a number of projects in the neighboring as well as in West Asia and Africa. The specialized services provided by CWPRS for effective water management through physical and mathematical model studies in river trading and flood control, hydraulic structures, harbor planning, coastal protection, foundation engineering, construction material, pumps and turbines, ship hydraulics, hydraulic design of bridges, environmental studies, earth studies and sciences, cooling water intakes have been found to be of much use in formulating our overall water management policies. I am sure that with the support of the Government of India, the CWPRS will continue making waves at the cutting edge of hydraulic research by continuously improving its facilities and expertise. In the coming years, the impact of climate change on hydrological cycle and the water availability in our country is likely to become a central question before national planning agencies. Relatively very large temporal and spatial variations in rainfall and consequently in the river flow and groundwater aquifers is a feature of the water resource in our country. This makes the water availability in India acutely susceptible to vagaries of climate change. The field of water resource management will have to continue to adapt to the current and future issues facing the allocation of water. Within the growing uncertainties of global climate change and the long-term impact of management action, the decision-making will be even more difficult. It is likely that the ongoing climate change will lead to situations that have not been encountered. As a result, new management strategies will have to be implemented in order to avoid setbacks in the allocation of water resources. I am sure that given its skilled personnel and acquired expertise, the Central Water and Power Research Station will continue its work towards developing knowledge, insight and skills required to design, implement and evaluate water management policies and strategies to achieve effective governance of water resources. I once again congratulate all the scientists, administrators and staff of the Central Water and Power Research Station of achieving this historical landmark and wish you all the very best in your future endeavors. Jai Hind.
Tales that inspire. Stories of social change. A salute to diversity. Promoting public discourse. Events that motivate, inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries.
The sacred relics of Buddha were unearthed in Piprava in Uttar Pradesh. Buddhist monks from all over the world visit the National Museum to pay their respects. These charred bone fragments of Buddha are housed in the gold canopy gifted by the royal family of Thailand.
Honorable Governor of West Bengal, Keshinath Tripathi ji, Honorable Minister of Disaster Management and Civil Defence, Government of West Bengal, Javed Ahmed Khan ji, Most Reverend Salvatore Pinocchio, Apostolic Nuncio to India, Shri Derek O'Brien, Member of Parliament, Mr. M. Prema, Superior General of Missionaries of Charity, His Beatitude Basilios Cleomis, President of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of India, the Most Reverend Thomas D'Souza, Archbishop of Calcutta, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends. Mr. Derek O'Brien is a good friend. I agree to his suggestions on occasions, disagree on others. Such is the nature of his public responsibilities and of mine. There are also occasions when our hearts and minds converge. This is one such occasion. When he invited me to this function, I readily agreed. How could I do otherwise? How could I do not join all of you in a moment of sheer joy, a happening that occurs perhaps once in a generation or more, to witness this great city being bestowed with name and fame globally because a single human being here was blessed with vision and determination to embark on a venture to serve the poor, the sick, the needy, and the abandoned. Much before the formal canonization, the mother was already a revered figure to the people of India. An extraordinary soul, a talisman of compassion and love and care. She was already venerated by millions of Indians, cutting across religious, caste, and regional divides. For the people of India, she was already a saint. As Father Joseph Langford of Missionary of Charity put it, and I quote him, in the midst of this world's poverty and gain, Mother Teresa of Calcutta has shone the warm light of God's love and compassion on us all.
This is what the Church reaffirms in raising her to the rank of the blessed, that it was His light we behold in her. End of quote. It is said that compassion is the desire that moves the individual self to widen the scope of its self-concern, to embrace the whole universe itself. Saint Teresa was an embodiment of compassion. She addressed the complex questions about the meaning of life by reducing it to the simple practice of alleviating the pain of others. She dedicated her entire life to serving the poorest of the poor, the destitute and forsaken. She saw herself as a small pencil in the hands of God and went about her work quietly, offering smiles and warm human gestures. She undertook her work with love and commitment, provided dignity and respect to those who had been defeated by life. She was a messiah of the poor and a pillar of support for the weak and suffering. Her simple manners touched the heart of millions of people of all faiths. Saint Teresa believed that giving something of ourselves is what confers real joy, and the person who is allowed to give is the one who receives the most precious gift. She glorified her life with the dignity of humble service and often said, and I quote her, "What the poor need most is to feel needed, to feel loved. There are remedies and treatments for all kinds of illnesses, but when someone is undesirable, if there are no serving hands and loving hearts, then there is no hope for a true cure." End of quote. Friends, today what began with a dozen sisters in Calcutta has grown to more than 5,500 members of the Missionaries of Charity in 139 countries. They are joined by thousands of volunteers who help run free kitchen, leprosy centers, health clinics, hospitals, hospices, schools, and many other affiliated health and social service organizations. It continues with its mission of caring for the poor, the sick, and the uncared, rendering its service to humanity, reaching out to the needy, regardless of their religion or social status. This is indeed a most fitting tribute to Saint Teresa and her compassionate legacy. In recognition of her selfless humanitarian service, our grateful nation honored her with Bharat Ratna, and the world recognized her work with the Nobel Prize for Peace. Her message of love continues to inspire millions of people around the world. World leaders have recognized her as an inspiration. Yet, she saw herself as one amongst the needy, one among the poor, dying and destitute. She identified herself with them. She demonstrated that a person could live in a faith-filled life even when in agony and doubt. Her work, though touching every social ill, was not only or even primarily social work. She dedicated her life to the cause of humanity. No matter what religion a person belongs to, or even if they do not belong at all, Saint Teresa's message is to serve with love. Not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love. This is a quote from her. She may have had her critics, but never did she respond with pithy aphorisms or admonitions. Her response was to keep on with her work of mercy, helping one person, then another, then another. And if she thought much about her critics, perhaps it was when she prayed for mercy for them. Her mission and message have touched not only the poorest of the poor here, but those well beyond India. Today, her words are a message of comfort for countless, many across the globe, across all social strata. It inspires us as that of Mahatma Gandhi, another great Indian whose birth centenary anniversary we celebrate today. It has been said, and I quote, that both shared a curious combination of religious conservatism and radical empiricism. Today, as we celebrate her canonization, I am reminded of a simple prayer that was very dear to her. Silence is prayer. Prayer is faith. Faith is love. Love is service. The fruit of service is peace. May her blessed life inspire all of us to dedicate ourselves to the service of humanity. Jai Hind.